My name is Tara Austin. I just finished my first year in the clinical psychology program. I became interested in psychology kind of from an unusual route. So I am an opera singer. That's what I had always done. I always thought that my career was going to be just singing. And during my training, I became really interested in how to kind of help my own performance. I wanted to better manage my own emotions. I wanted to make performing more fun because there are times when it can be stressful. And that led to actually reading a lot of books about psychology and taking some online classes here at BYU. And I became hooked. And I realized that my passion was not only music, but also psychology. Musicians also experience really high rates of anxiety and depression. When our bodies are in stress responses, it's really hard to enjoy a lot of things. You know, you're feeling a lot of out of controlness, and that's something that musicians, like my colleagues, would describe a lot, is feeling like they weren't in control over their bodies, and that their hearts were pounding, their breathing was irregular, you get really sweaty on stage. So I came in with all of these questions, and so I asked my mentor in the first interview, how can we change this? What can we do to work on these skills? And he had all the answers, and they were pretty easy fixes a lot of the time. But I had been in a lot of performance classes, had studied with some really great teachers, and no one had talked about this. And I knew I was in the right spot, and that here at BYU I'd be able to have a lot of these tools to be able to make a difference in something I loved in a way I never imagined. We mostly use biofeedback in our lab, which is a process by which you can kind of gain greater control over physiological functioning. So part of the important part about biofeedback is that you actually have feedback of what your body's doing. So a typical visit with us, you'll be hooked up to EKG monitors, and those actually directly measure your heart rate, and then a respiration belt, which will measure all of your breathing. So you will try and figure out what their natural resonance is of their body and have them breathe at that rate. So everyone has a specific rate which helps strengthen these physiological processes. And as we strengthen these, our bodies adapt better. And so it's nice to know that some of this is actually under our control, that I can work on my breathing and help regulate my heart rate. It's nice to know that I can tell my body what it needs to do, and if I've been practicing these steps, that it really listens well. And I think that sense of control can give a lot of the fun back to the performance.